It's tea time. Baby Hayden. Episode 520 something.
522.
22.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Doing some Yee On. So this is a 2007 raw for connoisseurs.
Yeah,
that's what they call their series. It's a
cool
red label.
Nice.
So this is the Hongyin is the Chinese name for that. I think this was an iron cake, which is I think is why it's called a biscuit. So yeah, I'm gonna give this tea 2 rinses, not because I think it really needs it, but I just want to get to kind of the core of this more. It's an iron cake, so it's going to take a little bit. Yep. So yeah, Yee On, traditionally storage specialist. Mm-hmm. These guys have a lot of great of that Hong Kong taste. So yeah, it's 18 years old, but Jesus, that's how long ago 2007 was. It will probably taste even older, just because of its storage.
Yeah. And for tea, I don't know how you found us if you're a tea noob, but for those tea noobs out there who are interested in watching a video about some esoteric raw pu'erh, why does Hong Kong storage make it age a little bit faster, James?
Well, I mean, part of it is just the heat and the humidity of Hong Kong. It's just hot, certainly compared to most places in the West. But, I mean, Hong Kong is also kind of one of those places that has a long history of drinking pu'erh, and so the way that the people stored tea, which is called traditional storage, I think I rinsed that twice, is kind of a thing that's specialized in that particular part of the world where they store the tea extremely hot and humid for a few years and then much drier for 5 or 6 years, and then the tea is ready. And that's sort of the process that predates ripe and is kind of still practiced. It results in a different product than ripe, and I think you'll find that you've had plenty of this, but people will find that it's quite different than naturally stored raw pu'erh.
Yeah. Leather and some baking sugar, something or other, maybe molasses or brown sugar. I think molasses is a little too barky.
Yeah. Let's take a smell. It'd be interesting if one of us didn't like these types of teas. I feel like there'd be a lot of episodes that would be we wouldn't have done.
I'm kind of a tea slut when it comes to it. Honestly, though, I just
good name for our rebrand.
Yeah. We'll start a.
It has a very interesting nose. I don't know how much you can smell right now, but it has a lot of these kind of almost menthol camphor notes to it. Which I'm personally a fan of. I really like it when these teas start to develop that.
It smells strong.
Yeah.
And
so this first cup, I think, is a little bit light on the color for my taste. So we will probably hit this a little bit harder on the next tea.
Ooh, wow, it's very sweet. Wow, quite sweet.
Sweet and kind of like that beetroot way.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely on that cusp of getting more that vegetable patch, really kind of beginning the transition in my mind of the kind of aging. It's sort of interesting, this idea of in permaculture of changing zones. I can't remember what the phrase is of it, but that's where the largest biodiversity tends to be, where one environment changes to another environment basically. Someone who knows about this can mention it. Wow, look how dark that is. This tea is kind of like that. It's sort of in between. It's a little bit of the traditional storage, becoming a little bit more of that kind of aged flavor. So offering tastes of both. Very interesting. Very lively.
Yeah, it's got a great aroma. I really like the aroma of these teas. It really has that camphor note coming off of it. Pretty strong.
Yeah. I think there's a hint of some fruit in there of some sort.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Cheerio.
Cheerio. Wow, so sweet.
It is really sweet. Yeah. I will say that that's not always the case on these teas.
I'm surprised.
Especially for a raw,
sugary. Yeah.
Decent body.
It was really nice. I'm recovering from a bit of a cold, so I'm not tasting stuff quite as strongly as I normally would. Just the vibe on this.
Yeah,
It's just really pleasant, really easy to
extremely
drink.
woody. I joked earlier last episode that Yee On wasn't clean, but it's not really the case. I think this is perfectly fine. Their storage is just, on the strong side. It transforms the tea for sure.
Yeah. Surprisingly easy drinking. I can't tell if it's just that I'm like physically impaired from like my nose being a little bit plugged up and stuff, but I'm getting a bit of minerals on this.
I could get that. Yeah.
Good lasting flavor.
Yeah.
The sweetness is very apparent. Oh, I can't talk about this.
And unlike Young Raw, you can tell just from how I'm brewing this that you can lean on this a fair bit. And the tea is not really getting bitter or astringent. It should just be a little bit of a richer, stronger brew. Mom test?
I'm going to say no. Although, I will say, if you're going to experiment with this flavor profile, this is a benign way to do it. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's not so... There's no bitterness that I can taste.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get there. Although I kind of doubt it. So yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to try something, this kind of family of flavors, this might be a good tea to try it. But it's such a kind of a family that I don't think the average tea drinker is going to really enjoy.
That's true, actually. I mean, I agree with that. This is not... it's pretty clean overall. Yeah. And the profile is not... I don't know. It could be heavier in the beetroot genre. Yeah. Wartime, I'm going to say it depends if this is kind of in a hotter or colder climate. I could see this being a very nice wartime tea in a colder climate. Maybe if you're fighting in the winter and
you're on the Hoth,
Eastern Europe or somewhere.
Shout out to the people who know what Hoth is. You know what Hoth is? Are you a Star Wars nerd?
No,
God, pathetic. Comment below. We're gonna kick James out of TDB.
Yeah, you referenced Magic the Gathering two episodes ago, and now here.
Yeah, the true. I mean, was there ever really a question that's a nerd? But
yeah, we got a comment today on that episode that was saying like, I don't know whether to be happy or sad about myself. That
dude, we all played Magic cards as children in like during PE when like the cool kids were freaking running around being all like, yeah, I do sports, bro. I throw balls, and we're like, I'm gonna play a card with a level of crispness so that it has a sound to it, and then I'm gonna like shuffle in a certain way that I really like obsess about, and like make sure that they slap right. Yeah, like, that's Magic. I guess there's like lands and stuff, but most of it is about the.
There you go. Cheers. We talking elementary school here or middle school?
It's all just a continuation of the same stupidity for me. This is nice. I'm kind of a weak tea drinker today, but it tastes good. A little bit bitter now.
Okay. No, I like this fair amount. I think it's just a very solid example of kind of a raw pour stored in this particular fashion. Yeah. It's like good material.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not blowing my socks off, but it's good.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. Any oiliness to this?
Oiliness. Maybe, but I'm not capable of telling right now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just curious because some of the iron cakes I've had from kind of this era get this really distinct oiliness. I don't get a lot of it from this, maybe a little bit. So curious if the Denny palate could pick up on that.
Not today. Yeah. Really nice residual flavors. It just tastes like in a lot of ways, a lot of the same like classic fermented wood flavors that are aged, turning into a bit more of the vegetable patch, a bit more of the sort of sugariness from sweet beets or something like that. Warming. Not really getting a lot of the camphor in the cup, more on the nose.
Yeah, it's very strong on the nose. Mm-hmm. I will say I'm getting a little bit of that in the cup, so maybe that's an example.
Yeah.
But it's a very straightforward profile. There's not like a lot of hidden nuances here. Yeah. I think it's just a simple, fairly comfortable brew, like very very woody. That's definitely the dominant.
For sure.
Kind of note.
Yeah, absolutely. And contrasting that to something that's going to be a young raw pu'erh, it's going to tend to be green, grassy, floral, bitter, floral, high-noted, plenty of base in there still, maybe some peatiness depending on how old the matcha is and stuff, but Yeah.
Man, ain't nothing floral coming out of this guy. That's for sure.
Just like a rust dust just
Yeah.
wafts.
Yeah. Maybe a tetanus shot or two is required, but
This is nice. Again, I'm kind of a C tier tea drinker today, but yeah.
whereas I'm always S.
Yeah. Always on. This is tasty. Do people buy this? How do they?
I think they can, yeah. You can go to Yee On Tea. You can look them up. They have a lot of interesting traditionally stored teas. I like them quite a bit. I do buy from them regularly,
Yeah,
too.
nice.
And so, yeah, I think this one's kind of a pretty solid example. I don't actually know what it costs, but yeah, you can go ahead and look it up and see if it sounds interesting.
Totally. And just from personal experience, drinking them on the show and stuff, I've always enjoyed these teas. They're certainly different and interesting. Well, not so different technically, but yeah, tasty. So go check them out. I think, is the ordering process a bit more challenging for them, or?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, they ship from Hong Kong,
Right.
so you have to do the international shipping.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily cheap to order
Right.
because of that shipping, but
Right.
yeah, no, it's they have a pretty standard, pretty well done website. It's not super old or anything. I think they just came online at the beginning of the pandemic, so
Okay.
everything's pretty updated.
Excuse me, T-burps. Check them out. Check us out, tdb.org. James is writing content on there again. We re-updated the website a little bit.
Check out the Denny Sods.
Check out the Denny Sods if you want. That's a couple playlists below. Actually, so I changed the like homepage on the tea stuff. So there should be some different playlists now, like the most recent stuff, and then James is in between the sods and some of mine too. So go watch every single video we've ever produced. Dude, we almost produced
close to
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah. Holy crap, that's mostly James.
It's like enough where you click on some of the Google views and it's like clearly estimating it's around 800 and but I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's closer to 1,000, and you keep clicking and I'm like, okay, no, it's 1,000.
Yeah. That's funny.
I don't know. I guess we could probably do the math. You just add up your in between sods, my in between sods. Although you have a different naming scheme these days on your Denny sods. You have like seasons or something like that. I'm still on season 1.
Yeah.
James is in between sods. It's going for 9 years.
I've never ever pirated a single thing before, and it's definitely not related to the naming structure of plenty of MKV files. So don't worry about that. Or MVK, MK, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Are you telling people to pirate your in between sods?
Yes, please do. Yeah, pirate them from the clenching hands of the tea overlords who have kept them a secret from everybody.
Damn you, Stan!
Just send this to Stan. Just like timestamp this. Just like this is an average TDB episode. Anyway, hey, subscribe to all this stuff.
I've been provided the hand motions for perfect jiffing. Yeah.
Shout out to all the people who drink tea and still watch this weirdness. Yeah, I don't know, do stuff. We'll see you soon, I guess.
Wu-Tang!